Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben. Well, it's Sunday. We are back. Yes, I haven't recorded a podcast for a few days now, as I have been totally wiped out, ill, sick, not being able to do any podcasts, as I've been dizzy, poorly, lost sense of taste, and just feeling completely down. It wasn't coronavirus. I did a coronavirus test and it came back negative, but I believe there is a lot of stuff going around at the moment, so hence why I've been gone. If you did follow my social media, I did put a post on there to say that I had disappeared for a bit, but hopefully I'm getting a lot better now, and hopefully the podcasts will be back again, as I know quite a lot of you have missed them. I've been getting messages saying that you've been missing them, so hopefully they are back for the time being, and we'll hopefully get quite a few recorded this week. So make sure you click that subscribe button and then you'll get notified when new podcasts come up. So today it's Sunday, and obviously I haven't been well, so I wasn't at the allotment yesterday, but I did manage to make it down today, as I wanted to at least spend one day down there this weekend and get a bit of fresh air and back out into normality, really, because I've been cooped up all week, feeling sorry for myself, so I wanted to get back out there and enjoy a bit of fresh air. I didn't do too much, I took it quite easy, as, like I say, I'm still quite bad at the moment. But today was mainly, I went live for all my followers to have a little chat with them on Facebook, so make sure you follow me on Facebook and then you see my live streams on there. Had a little chat with them, and then I got out into the garden, and that involved doing a job which I said I wanted to get done ages ago, but I've only just got round to doing it, and that is pruning all my autumn raspberries, as now they are all finished with. There are a few raspberries still left on, but not many left at all, to be honest. So pruning autumn raspberries is really easy, hence why I grow autumn variety, as with autumn variety of raspberries you just prune them back to the ground. You don't have to worry about which canes to prune, you just prune them all straight to the ground, and new canes will grow next year and they will fruit on the canes that grow. Whereas summer varieties, you can only prune back the canes which have had fruit on. The new canes that have grown this year, they will be the ones that bear fruit next year, so they're a bit more complicated. I've got both varieties growing so that I have fruit for a longer period from the raspberries, so that was my main job today, getting all them pruned back, and yeah, it certainly looks a lot better. I always think about growing something in the bed with the raspberries, but once they're fully grown it just fills up that bed completely, so there wouldn't be room for growing any other stuff in there. But I have got some spring bulbs in that bed as well, so come springtime it'll still look full for the raspberries coming later in the year, because I don't like it all looking bare, to be honest. I like it to look a bit filled up and lots of stuff growing in it. So what else have I been up to down at the plot? I've picked the last of my apples. If you've got any apples left on your tree, get them all picked now. You don't want to leave them to go rotten on the trees, as that can affect the tree. So you need to make sure you get all your apples off. There were quite a few eaten ones what were on the tree. I'm guessing that's the wasps doing that damage to them, because the wasps will be looking for as much food as possible, and obviously they'll get their food from the apples. So there were quite a few eaten ones off there, so they're going in my composting heap to rot down and go back into the ground and feed the nutrients back in that way. So that was my main jobs down at the plot today. And then I possibly spent about half an hour in my shed. I'm trying to spend a bit of time every time when I go down to the allotment, just to spend a bit of time in my shed tidying it up. Like I said, it was a decent day today here in Sheffield. It weren't raining, so I didn't want to spend the whole time in the shed, as while it is nice, I need to be spending as much time out in the fresh air as possible, because who knows what winter's going to be like. You don't really. It could be absolutely chucking it down the whole way through winter, so you might not be able to spend much time out in the garden, or it might be snow blizzards and you won't be able to get to the allotment whatsoever. So I save all these rainy jobs what need doing. When it is bad weather, spend it inside the shed doing work in the shed, and I will have it all ready in there for springtime, but it's just not one of those big rushes to get done at the moment. The main rush is to get the plot looking good and decent and stripped back, ready for next year, because the quicker I get it done now, the quicker I can get on and do them jobs what need doing later. The main priority is getting all the plot cleared of all the weeds and all the brambles now, because they won't be growing through the winter. They'll stop growing through the winter time, or they won't grow as fast. So that is the reason why you need to get cracking and get clearing all the weeds and all your old beds out. And if you're putting manure down, get that down now. Get it all prepared and ready while the weather is decent and you can still get out in the garden and get these jobs done. Then over the coming weeks I'm going to be drawing up a plan of what I want to do for next year, because each year I draw a plan. I make a list of all the things that I want to grow, look through all my seeds, see what seeds I've got, and plan where I want to grow them, because you don't want to grow stuff where you have grown it before, as obviously there could be diseases from the plants last year if you grew them in the same spot, like tomatoes and potatoes, etc. So you want to grow them in a different spot, but obviously you want them to still get sunlight if it's a sunny plant that needs lots of sunlight. So you need to draw a plan of what you want to grow and where you want to grow it and why you want to grow it. A lot of times I grow stuff for fun. I just like to grow it and see how it gets on. If you get fruit and veg from it, bonus, you will be eating it. But yeah, a lot of times I grow stuff for fun, which I enjoy doing as well. So that's going to be my next main tasks. And then another task what I'm hoping to get done over the winter period will be to get some more fencing put up around the plot. I put quite a lot up last year. If you saw the photos from last year, I got quite a lot of fencing put up on my plot. Some of it fell down. As you know, I am not a very good person at woodwork, so quite a bit of it actually fell down, and hopefully I'll get some of that back up and looking right and get it all painted, because I do like the wood effect look, but I do like it to look nice as well, nicely painted. So I tend to paint it all green, as green is a nice colour. I don't like to go for the normal brown wood stain colour. I like to go for a nice green colour and make it look nice and a bit attractive, really. As I know it's only an allotment, but I still like it to look good and look decent and be able to enjoy seeing it. And obviously it protects the wood, it'll make it last longer and preserve it for the years to come as well. So I've got quite a few jobs to be getting on with down there at the moment over the next few weeks. But what have I been up to while I've not been blogging and recording my podcast? Well, I've started writing quite a few articles on my website where I'm sharing. I can go into a bit more detail, I can explain things a bit better and go over some of these things what I've talked about on my podcast and share some of my tips with my followers. So I've been writing them articles up and I've started sharing them through my Facebook and through my Instagram stories. So make sure you follow them and click on the stories, and there will be a link to the article which I've written. And the article what I've done for today was all about the things what you can plant in November. Obviously, I've done this podcast as well on what you can plant in November, but if you want it there and in somewhere nice and easy, you can have it on the website as well. So I've been sharing them tips recently, and tomorrow's tips will be about what jobs you can do in a garden. Again, there's already a podcast on this, but some people like it written down so you can actually read it, because obviously you don't want to be making notes while you're listening to the podcast. You just want it to listen to, really. So if you check out my Facebook page, Gardening with Ben, you'll be able to see them links and have a look at the articles and refer back to them and write a list from them, tick them off the jobs that you've done, and then once you've done them, you can move on to the next jobs, because there's always lots and lots of jobs to get done down at the allotment. So I'm also going to be looking at doing a little magazine coming up soon, possibly the start of next year, sharing monthly tips and advice with you all, for you able to download and be able to purchase and support me through it, as I know quite a few people have asked how they can support me. So I'm looking at doing a monthly magazine as well, so that could have tips, advice, a couple of recipes in, a couple of activities in, and just sharing with you more stuff about what I know with you all. As if I could do this full time, I certainly would do. It would be my dream to do podcasting and gardening full time, sharing tips and advice with you, spending the whole time at my allotment filming content for you all. But unfortunately, I can't do that at the moment because I don't get enough listeners, or I've not got enough followers. So please do keep on sharing these podcasts with people, as it does help. And the more people that listen to it, the more pennies I will earn from it. So yeah, keep on sharing these podcasts. It really does mean the world to me. So yeah, hopefully the podcast will be back all week, and I will be sharing lots more tips and advice and different stories with you all. Thanks for those who do all listen to me and do support my channel. It does mean the world. I know I keep saying it, that it does support me, mean the world to me, but it really does. Without the followers, the listeners, and everybody else, I certainly wouldn't be doing this podcast. So have a great Sunday, everybody, and have a great week ahead. And remember to keep tuning in and listening. And as always, remember, keep gardening, keep smiling, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. And feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.